So about Rumi, let me start by this. Most of the things you read or hear about Rumi on the internet are pure crap. This Islam figure suddenly gained fame in the world, and people started to attribute their own thoughts and ideas to him. Everything has since become a Rumi cult. Not that those ideas and quotes that you hear or read are bad, or even Rumi is better than by any measure than them, but it's just not him. So why not go into the original text and see what Rumi is really about? For starter, the name Rumi itself is a wrong designation. No one until a few decades ago called him as such. It was assigned to him after the dissolution of Ottoman Empire by some Westerners who found his tomb and his fame in today's Turkey. And as Westerners preferred that region to be reminiscent of the old Roman Empire than Persian or Islamic or later Ottoman Empire, they called him Rumi, which in both Persian and Turkish means from the Roman era. His name is Jalaluddin Muhammad Balkhi, who is also known famously as Maulana, an Arabic term meaning our master. Maulana was born in the year 1207 and passed away in the year 1273. He was a Persian Sunni Muslim clergyman by training and a polymath like many scholars of his own time. He was born in the Greater Khorasan, in the eastern part of the Persia at the time, in the city of Balkh, in today's Afghanistan, and thus his mother tongue was Persian, in which he wrote 90% of his works, and he also used Arabic as the clerical and scientific language of the time, and also a little bit of Turkish and Greek, very rarely as the result of his last years in the city of Konya in today's Turkey. In 1215, when he was just 7 years old, Mongols started their invasion of Persia, and Maulana's family headed towards west to escape the devastation, of course. And this trip took about 14 years by some estimate and 20 years by some others, until eventually, sometimes around 1230, they resided in Konya. In their way, young Jalaluddin passed through many of the most important cultural centers of Persia. And this was, for example, including Neyshabur, when he met one of the pioneers of Iranic mysticism, Attar Neyshaburi. All those early encounters remained on the subconscious of Maulana, but it was his encounter with Shams which transformed him from a clergyman to a mystic. Assumed by many of his previous followers a heretic, although gained so many new followers after that. There is conflicting ideas about the nature of relationship between Shams and Maulana. Many believe that there is a homosexual undertone to the mystic, master and disciple relationship as well. But of course, hardcore Muslim followers of Maulana will be offended by such notions. As long as I am concerned, whether the nature of their relationship, their mutual love, has been romantic or strictly platonic, it doesn't change the fact that it was this love that transformed Maulana and opened his eyes to many insights about the world. Shams eventually disappeared, and while some believe that he just followed his own mystic journey, some believe that he was murdered with the connivance of Maulana's son. Maulana went out searching for Shams to Damascus and beyond, but returned to Konya without any result. Maulana's love for Shams and mourning for his death became the motivation behind many, if not all, of his ghazals and ruba'is, which is known to Persian speakers as Divan-e-Shams, literally meaning the Book of Shams, although it is written by Maulana. Maulana, or Rumi, has four main works, two poetry and two prose. The two poetry are Masnavi, which is written in 6 volumes, and Divan Shams, which I mentioned, which contains about 40,000 couplets of ghazals and rubais. The prose works are Fih Mafih, which means inside it is what inside, a very informative book of his thoughts gathered from his talks by his disciples. And finally, the other book is Majalis al-Sab'ah, or the Seven Sermons, which is mostly in Arabic and partly in Persian and Turkish, and is the most mystic and polemic work of his, again gathered by his disciples. He started as a clergyman, but it is easy to argue based on his work that he died as a non-religious person. His worldview was very holistic and pantheistic by that point. Love became the center of his psychology and philosophy, and while unity, nature, and mental power of man over the material world became his theology and ontology. His epistemology was mostly intuition-based, and he didn't believe in one single truth or reality, but in reaching the truth or reality through personal growth by each individual, and through love and intuition, and finally through heavenly and pantheistic wisdom. He has become so famous recently for so many reasons, and rightly so, as a great thinker. But while we go through Rumi in this course, I just want to remind you that he is just an accumulation, and not necessarily the most comprehensive one of that, of Iranic and Eastern wisdom. And there are other figures to explore. If Maulana or Rumi really interests you, there are other people to explore. But let's start with this one.